guys, Roshi here and welcome to Death and Faeology, the demo. We are playing this game as part of the Choose Wisely festival that is running on Steam right now from the 8th to the 15th, so go and check out some of the awesome games on show or search hashtag Choose Wisely Festival to watch participating content. This game is a dark academia-themed murder mystery visual novel set in New York City in the 1920s. A string of fae-related murders is tearing through the city, and only we can solve the case. It is developed and published by Mushroomallow, a studio based in Indonesia, and its planned release date is to be announced. But you can go grab the demo now on Steam if you want to give it a try and add it to your wishlist, if the premise interests you. I'm hoping to either finish or play around 2 hours of the demo today, so we can explore the different aspects of the game and meet as many characters as possible. Okay, we're gonna jump in. New game. What's my name? Roshi. Proceed. Okay. Grading first year assignments can be such an exercise in patience. I ought to remind myself that Faeology is a relatively recent science, only a couple of decades old. This university, the only Faeology university in the whole country, was just finished being built in 1905. What a good year. It is still barely acknowledged in the academic field. More importantly, I've got to keep in mind that children inherit their parents' prejudices and misconceptions, don't they ever? The human world has formed its own notion of fairies. Alas, I find myself unable to suppress a big sigh every time I read references to poisoned apples ushering princesses into eternal sleep. A reference to the Cottingley fairies is one I can understand, since it was quite the sensation not too long ago. Although it would be clear in the eyes of renowned faeologists that the photographs are mere imitations. A pity that Sir Doyle was taken in by it. I ought to take a break. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? The grading session today has taken me quite a tangent. My beloved Oz, what are you? Gorgeous. And also terrifying. I suppose having a fairy companion does give one an advantage in identifying genuine fairies. You're a fairy? So cute. I feel like I'm about to be hypnotized. I'd say a break is in order, wouldn't you, Oz? Oz responds through trills that I've learned to interpret over the decades I've known them. Oh, I'm not doing the trills of Oz. I don't know, what would a trill sound be? I don't think I'm not that good at doing voices. Also, my throat's still a bit messed up from last week when I had my illness. It's like I've hit the second wind, it's coming back. I'm drinking a lovely coffee latte. Iced something to help soothe my throat, which probably is not the most useful. I think I'm gonna have a tea with honey in it in a bit, so I will probably try and do some voices, but if it's not up to my usual standard of doing random ass voices, I apologize. The Cottingley fairies again? Yes, and Princess's eternal slumber due to poisoned apples. We don't care much for human princesses, but making poisoned apples is rather an easy feat. Should I turn one of them into a toad in front of the whole class to show that fae folk is capable of more than that? At the same time showing them that not all fairies are a friendly bunch. I can't help but chuckle at the thought of that. Whoa! I believe some might just quit that same day if you do that. Besides, if other faeologists got a hold of your existence, who knows what they'll do to you? Chances are high those people will try to pin you to a corkboard and vivisect you. Vivisect? Now that is a word. I would never let that happen. I've always appreciated you pursuing faeology to ensure that. This is the least I could do. We've known each other since I was 7. You saved me countless times since then. Well, you could have let me bleed to death when you found me. I would never. I can hear a delightful melody of chirps laced with a touch of whimsy, which makes me feel just a tad fizzy. Fizzy? It seems that even the laugh of a fairy possesses some magical quality. While you're on a break, isn't there something else on your agenda this afternoon? Right, Mr. Henkel's letter. Thanks for reminding me. Ooh. I retrieve the letter from my patron from a desk drawer. I lean back on my chair and read the missive aloud to myself. Dear Roshi, how long are you going to keep me in suspense? Will you or will you not accompany me to this year's Leos Gala? You could do a lot worse than forgetting your boring books for a moment in favor of whiling away an evening with champagne and canapes and invigorating company. And when I say invigorating, I'm not speaking of those old sods with deep pockets ready to be exploited by way of funding grants for your research. I'm speaking, of course, of yours truly. Do write to me sometime before Saturday. That's tomorrow's date, isn't it? Oh, I know. My delay in responding is entirely by design, I assure you. I'd hate to be getting the looks from the crowd like I'm a wet blanket. Faeology isn't worth my dough, they say. Oz's replying chirp is decidedly indignant. I nod to Oz in agreement before returning to Mr. Henkel's letter. In other news, I've heard that little Ruthie Blythe caused a minor ruckus in the city's hottest speakeasy. If your old friend Detective Krause hadn't been in the area at the time as well, who knows what could have happened. I find myself rather perturbed at this revelation. I would have telephoned Ruthie and asked what the story was, like when we were children. However, for better or for worse, we aren't on friendly terms anymore. Whoa, what did I do? Or what did she do? I resume reading my patron's letter. Speaking of the detective, have the two of you been keeping in contact? He gave me the cold shoulder when I crossed paths with him at last week's benefit. I couldn't help but assuming that his persistently frosty treatment of me might have had something to do with you. Why, what the fuck did I do? It's unfortunate that the extensive bonds you have with him should end in a rather bitter taste. Aye. As you have told me more than once, when it was good, there was nothing else quite like it. Yet you speak very little of him now, and I find myself wondering if he still holds a place in that guarded heart of yours. The letter is signed yours everlasting, Oscar Henkel. Well, I've kept Mr. Henkel waiting long enough. I guess I press a fresh pen. Yeah, that's what it says. I press a pen to a fresh sheet of paper to commence crafting a response. Whoa. Just then a familiar rhythmic rapping pierces the silence. I glance in the direction of Oz, but they're nowhere to be seen. Oz must have camouflaged himself in a heartbeat. I put Mr. Henkel's letter in the drawer before calling out. Come in, Minnie. Okay, ooh, hello. I'm going to imagine that I'm the character that I am inhabiting, and my little fairy, we're just Australians. It doesn't matter. We're Australians. We've immigrated to the US. We have this accent. We're staying this way. Should I do New York accents for everyone else? Maybe. My assistant enters the office. She's careful to snap the door shut behind her. What's a good American voice? Professor? Yes, Minnie? Are you talking to yourself again? That's right, you know me. I see. Sometimes I wonder what she must have thought while hearing the mumbling sounds of me speaking with Oz, but she knows when not to poke her nose into things. One of the things I like about her, and also what makes her the bee's knees when it comes to being an assistant. I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's here. Who? That police detective from the newspapers. Police detective? Even as I echo those words, there's a sinking feeling in my stomach. You know, the man who made you crumple the papers and toss them in the trash can? In the end, we had to stop our subscription for the dailies. Detective Theodore Krause. Yes, that's the one. Knowing Theo is here makes my world go momentarily off kilt. It's as if, by the magic of the fairy tales I'm a line, the ink in my patron's letter has manifested him into the reception area. Can't you tell him I'm out delivering a lecture on the far side of campus or something? That depends. Is a lie like that going to deter this man? An astute question. She is truly wise beyond her years. Probably not. He'd happily traverse the entire campus just to torment me, I'm guessing. Alright, let him in. I like Minnie. With a brisk nod, Minnie returns to the reception area. I barely have time for a steadying breath before Theo barges in. Oh, damn. Hi, Theo. He drops a box on my desk right off the bat. What's in the box? What is this? Why is he in my office? Well, look who the cat dragged in. Not even a how do you do? What, did nicety suddenly mean something to you? I seem to recall you packing your bags and moving out with so much as a goodbye. There was no one to say goodbye to. Didn't you find out? I left a few days later. At least it made it easier for you to leave, didn't it? There is a tinge of hurt in his voice that I'm only able to pick up because we lived together for several months. We lived together. Damn. We had an entanglement. As my mouth struggles to catch the words hanging in the air, I feel the piercing, icy silence creeping in. I ought to break the silence before I freeze. What's in the box? What's in the box? I need to stop. He lets out a deep sigh that rather sounds like relief. Your things that somehow you didn't take with you when you left. Even that oddly crafted handkerchief you love so much. That handkerchief was a gift for you. I see the corner of his mouth twitch. He's lying. What should I do with this information? Reach out for the box to check. I quickly stretch out my hand to the box, yet he is just as fast in catching my wrist before I can open it. I withdraw my hand from his grip swiftly, like a startled bird soaring into the sky. That truly caught me off guard. I'd forgotten what his hand feels like. I was only kidding. Although you really haven't changed much, have you? You just went straight for it. He sounds amused and slightly pleased, as if he just confirmed the accuracy of one of his deductions. Neither of you. I threw all of it away right after you vanished, he says with a subtle squint in his left eye, another lying tell of his. I can't help but sigh at his antics. Why are you lying? Of course you did. So what's really in the box? Want to take a guess? I do have an idea. Knowing him, he'd sooner face the whole Al Capone gang by himself and take their bullets before coming to visit me. This must be way more important than our poignant history. Case evidence? I've seen boxes like this one before, but never one quite so large. It's a really big case, isn't it? He nods. The biggest of my career. And to come to me of all people, you must be at your wit's end about this. He looks away as if trying to hide how galling the circumstances at hand are. Truth be told, I'd rather face the whole Al Capone gang and take the bullets than have to see you again. Gee, that stings a little. Also, hey, I said that first. So why would you? Hold on a minute. You think this has some sort of connection to fairies? He flicks his tongue in exasperation. Oh my, it seems I've hit the bullseye. We stopped talking about fairies at some point when we were still together. Those talks always led to a heated discussion and then into arguments because nothing I could say could change his skepticism toward mystical beings. This is certainly the chance to tease him about it, though it might be unwise considering the emotional peril he must have gone through to get here. What should I do next? Should I tease him? No. I'm gonna be nice. He looks like he's in some trauma already. I'm gonna ask more about his thoughts. I know this must be hard for you, but I can't help if you don't say anything. He sighs. You're right. As difficult as it is to admit, the things you've told me before about fairies and whatnot might have helped to make sense of this case. But I have to say, for the sake of my sanity, I still don't believe they exist. Fair enough. He appears pleasantly surprised by my answer, as though he was expecting a quarrel right around the corner. Little did he know, I've learnt that it's moot to try to explain the otherworldly beings to him. So what makes this case so significant? Why do you think it relates to fairies? Are you even allowed to tell me? I hear the sound of a chuckle and under the breath, like a bolt from the blue. That's an expression I've never heard. For a brief moment, his gaze on mine seems to revert to how it used to be, until the seriousness returns to his face. First things first, since I'm leading the investigation, I do have some discretion on what details to divulge, and to whom. That is, if the confidant can bring value to the investigation. And I've known you for a fact that you can be discreet. I've known for a fact that you can be discreet. Is that how that works? That sentence structure? Yes. Still, I must ask your sworn secrecy on this matter. You got it. Finger guns. Let's go. So, tell me about the case. Why does it seem to be of paramount importance? It's a multiple murder case, potentially perpetrated by a single culprit. The victims are chiefly middle-aged women residing north of the city. They're from old money families, the types that make regular appearances at high society events. I see. No wonder you're all tensed up. You're telling me. Chief took me off every other case and insisted I put all my time and effort into this. It's only a matter of time until the press catches wind and makes a circus of everything. And with some of the victims' peculiar manners of death. He pauses. This is where the fairies come in? He silently stares and then sighs. I swear I must be losing my mind. You've got this. Now he draws in a long, deep breath. Three of the victims had a manner of death that the unit has never seen or heard of before. Whoa! The strangest case is the one where the body seemingly hardened into bony tissue overnight. Her corpse almost looked like a carved wooden statue. Oh, I've heard of something like that before. Of course you have. I frown at him. Don't start now. He clears his throat abashedly. Without finding out what caused these deaths, and most importantly, who did this, the press could spin the stories out of control. I don't want to imagine the look on victims' families' faces if and when the papers are making a rouse of these poor women's deaths. Besides, what kind of depraved sick bastard goes around murdering women in such a way? Well, the city's already running on fumes. Crime's becoming more rampant day by day. Well, just you wait, Teddy. The 1920s. You got a lot of shit coming. People shouldn't have to look over their shoulder every night. It's no way to live. Even as he lapses into silence, I say nothing. It's not just the city. The rising crime is bleeding him dry, too. Yet I am sure of what words could soothe those who are fighting it on the front line. I've never been where they are. The frown lines between his eyebrows grow deeper. You know, considering the victim's background, having these murders being exaggerated in papers would pressure the families to insist on closing the case as soon as possible. No matter the cost. No matter who's to blame. You're right, innocent people are going to bear the brunt for this. This is a terrible situation. I feel my stomach churning. My arms cross on instinct, trying to hold my own disquietude in place. That's a word. Is there anything you can do? I'm just one man. Try as I might, I can't keep these rotten police brass from lining their pockets. Nothing but a pack of lowlifes in high places. Nothing but a pack of lowlives in high places, he says with gritted teeth. He exhales sharply, his voice laced with contempt. Then he falls into silence yet again. Similarly, words seem to have abandoned me, as I can't shake this feeling of helplessness crawling under my skin. After a minute, he meets my eyes once more. You're a good listener, better than most. He curls his lips into an almost smile. I don't mind it at all. Thanks. He clears his throat once more. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. Why did I go... Okay. This box includes case files, crime scene photos. Nope. This box includes case files, crime scene photos, a couple of blood samples, which I was able to request to bring to you, and several other pieces of evidence. Why am I going West Texan? What is happening? Other than the strange manners of death, I've said forensics was puzzled too by the blood samples. How so? One of them doesn't contain iron. Iron. One of them doesn't contain iron. Iron. How does an American say iron? Iron! That's interesting. Nothing surprises you, does it? Well, about this peculiarity, I bring up something from my fairy books, but you'd always find a way to deny it. You're right about that. I'm still investigating the possibility of unknown drugs or poison that somehow caused these oddities. But I'd be a fool to not go after my hunches and look into all possibilities. What about robbery? What if they stole the blood? It's ruled out. No fingerprints, no evidence of breaking in. Nothing had been stolen. And motives? Revenge? We're still interviewing the city elites, looking for the possible motives. But it takes time. You know how it is. Yes, of course, they're very busy. Speaking of city elites, I know people who can be very helpful in getting some inside information. His expression turns sour at full tilt. Who? That man? I said people, but yes, that man would be particularly helpful in this matter. Ah, so he doesn't like my patron. He scoffs brazenly and doesn't even try to hide it. Even at the first meeting with Mr. Henkel, there was some inexplicable tension between the two. Theo said something about Mr. Henkel feeling off and always hated it whenever I had something to do with him, though it might just be jealousy in disguise. You know I'm right. Even if he's barely in the newspapers, he's most likely at the pinnacle of high society, and I don't think he'll mind if I ask him a few things about this. Why, of course. He's always got a soft spot for you. Hell, he's probably carrying a torch for you for a long time, judging by the way he follows you everywhere. Well, he happens to be interested in Faeology and has a lot of money to allow its development. Look at you, all ready to defend him. What are you, two an item now? Jesus, Theo. I might have steered this reunion right back to where we were months ago by bringing up Mr. Henkel, but it was necessary to mention him. I don't know anybody else who would have that much information about high society. Besides, there's never really been anything, even if we did go to fundraising events together from time to time. It was strictly business. Yet again, Theo seems to lose his reason whenever we talk about Mr. Henkel. I don't have the time or the energy to argue with him. What should I do? I'm going to explain the truth about it. We're not anything. We go to fundraising events from time to time, but these are work. I've got to get money for my research from somewhere, you know. Our relationship is strictly business. He gives me a dirty look. Sure, I believe you. No, he doesn't. Fucking rude. Besides, what I do with him is none of your business. Oh, beeswax. Damn, she hit him with the beeswax. His voice becomes even more irritated. That's right, it's not my concern. Do whatever you want with him. Just make sure he can keep his mouth shut about the case. I can't help but groan at this turn of events. I will. While we're on the subject of useful allies, you mentioned before about blood that doesn't contain iron. I can take the blood samples to the university's chemist. She's good at what she does. And she's from a rich family. She might know some of the victims or their families at least. I'll trust your judgment. I take it this is you agreeing to help with the case. That's right. There are lives at stake. He lets out a soft smile as though in quiet agreement with what I said. Thank you. Well, if you think it'll be helpful, you can even ask the people you mentioned what they know using the evidence items. But the case files are for your eyes only. Understood. He's fallen silent somehow, leaving an uncomfortable hush in the air once more. Suddenly a realization comes to mind. Does this mean you'd be willing to hear about fairies? About Faeology? That depends. If this was indeed fairy doings, and if through your investigation you can provide solid theories on 3 things: the culprit, their methods of murder, and their motives. Fuck. Alright, that's a lot. Supported by evidence, of course. I'm sticking with the idea that there's a logical explanation. An earthly one, for now. Fair enough. You fuck. I wager that we have approximately 24 hours to get some sort of answer. An answer that makes sense. I can feel the papers are close to getting the story. While you're investigating this lead, I'll look further into unusual drugs and poisons. How about it, Faeologist? Do you dare take on this challenge? Do I? I mean, I'll help even without being challenged, but I'll accept. Bring it on, detective. This brings a grin to his almost consistent brooding expression. Good. If you need anything from me, just ring me. Aye, aye, sir. I say with a salute. But you need to promise me that you'll not just hear me out, but you'll also keep an open mind on fairy topics if I succeed in what you asked, especially since you've come to me for help and yet you're still unwilling to believe that fairies exist, and yet you've got a whole bunch of unexplained stuff that's happening to you. Fascinating. I promise. But I can't promise not to scoff from time to time. Fucking rude. That's good enough. I ought to get going. Maybe this will be an opportunity for you to increase Faeology's credibility in the eyes of the academics. Fuck you, first of all. Maybe. Seems like some detective has been following the tiny part of Faeology in the newspaper. Says you. The one who had to stop the daily paper subscription just because some detective kept getting the headlines. How do you know that? You... Stop detecting me, detective! Before I could finish, he had walked towards the door and opened it. See you tomorrow around the same time. Bye. I hear the door close. Hey! Exclaimed with a hint of frustration. After some thought, I realized that he must have noticed the missing newspaper on my desk and my assistant's. Yeah, he was detecting. God, he can't go one moment without detecting. Reading papers was part of my daily routine when we were together. I can only shake my head in disbelief. He hasn't changed much either. Hi, Oz! As I'm reminiscing about a few moments of our past relationship, Oz reveals himself again, now that we're all alone. That was quite the reunion. It was quite the reunion indeed. He hasn't changed at all, has he? I suppose. Although you don't have an obligation to help him. I know. I've already agreed. Very well. Just don't overwork yourself. Yeah, thanks, Oz. I find myself slowly drifting into thoughts. A victim's manner of death, hardening into bony tissue, could be one of the fairy curses, ossification. If only I could ask Oz whether a fairy was behind this, and which one, but it's not that simple. Even if they are my longtime companion, fairies have their own rules about exchanging favors, and they are secretive about their land too. A favor like that doesn't come cheap. That probably explains why Oz hasn't ever revealed himself to Theodore. Because I was like, wouldn't that be the easiest way to just be like, hey, look, they exist? But I'm assuming there's some kind of red tape. At least I'm stocked up on milk and honey for small requests. Speaking of requests, I should get started on a reply to my patron's letter. Yeah, you should finish that. For some reason, he seems to be more insistent this time that I come with him to the gala. I retrieve a paper and a pen, and I mumble to myself as I write. Dear Mr. Henkel, I hope your recent forays into high society have proven more fruitful than they have in... Should I be hyperbolic? No, be realistic. More fruitful than they have been in a decade or so you've been alive. Damn! Maybe I shouldn't have been realistic. Believe it or not, I have been considering whether the merits of trying to impress the wealthiest folk of the city outweigh the obvious indignities. You first brought up the possibility of my accompanying you to the annual Leo's Gala a couple of months ago, and I'm still weighing my options. How do I want to play this? Be coy. You shall know my answer definitively if you find me on your arm on the evening of the event. About Ruthie, I can't say I'm surprised to hear about her latest flirtations with disaster. Since we were both toddlers, she's frequently found herself in trouble. Her fiery personality certainly doesn't help her get out of quarrels. I would love to telephone her and ask her how she's doing, but we drifted apart a long time ago. Nevertheless, I'm glad to hear that Theo was there to smooth things over for her. I've now arrived at the topic of Theo, or Detective Kraus, as my patron refers. I suppose his query was meant to uncover whether I still care for Theo. How should I answer? Sometimes my thoughts wander back to him. I murmur under my breath as I write. As for Theo, I must be honest that sometimes my thoughts wander back to him. However, such thoughts are fleeting at best. I have not a single moment of regret over the decision to end it. Upon signing off, I seal the letter with wax. I then turn toward my trusted Fae. Oz, can I please trouble you with something? You want me to deliver this letter to your patron, don't you? Indeed. Time is of the essence here. As always, please take care not to catch anybody's attention. He'll see it by tomorrow morning, I'm sure. It would be my pleasure. Thank you, Oz. I'm off. See you later today. I watch as Oz flits out of my office window and vanishes. Once the Fae is gone, I call my assistant back to my office. Yes, Professor? Hold on one second. I rifle through the contents of the box. Ooh, blood! So we've got blood. Carefully, I extract the blood samples that Theo mentioned. They appear to be stored in test tubes. Would you mind asking Dr. Rayford to analyse these blood samples? I'll do that, sure. As I hand the samples to her, I notice that she looks like she wants to say something. Over the 2 years we have been working together, I've picked up on a few of her tells. What is it, Minnie? How'd it go with the detective? If you don't mind me asking. Oh no, not at all. He's the same as always. There's lingering beef, of course, but we've sort of managed to put it aside for something more important. He has brought me a rather significant case that he suspects might have some supernatural elements, as hard as it was for him to admit it. Oh, good for him. I can't help but grin at her remark. I'm glad it didn't end in a shouting match at least. Yes, me too. I'll deliver the blood samples now, Professor. Thank you, Minnie. Thanks, Minnie. I love your hair. It's very fashionable. Minnie hurries out. I'm alone in my office again. I'm still stuck in the old styles of the 1910s. Remembering the conversation about the case, I'm suddenly engulfed by unexplainable eerie feelings. I should start the investigation right away. Okay, so we've sent the blood vials off to Mr. Rayford. Okay, drag and drop items from the inventory to the desk. Select an item in the records, then press the icon to open the inspector and read insights you've gathered. Hover the magnifying glass above an evidence to access the information and see the details in it. Use the black light to see invisible things. Read the encyclopedia to gain additional information and press the button to end the investigation. Okay. So this is my desk. Oh. Okay. I don't need to do that. I'm good. I'm sorry. So, I'm going to pull out case 1, Audrey Woodridge. Hello? Name, Audrey Wooldridge, 51. Manner of death, hardening into bony tissue. From afar, the corpse looks like a carved wooden statue. Time of death, around 1 p.m. Victim profile. She was an affluent, middle-aged woman in the city. The victim reported hearing strange noises and seeing strange phenomena in the days immediately preceding her death. The interviewing officer suspected, due to the victim's strange behavior, involvement in occult matters. Forensic report. No traces of drugs or poisons from what can be extracted from the body. Further autopsy is still in progress due to the victim's manner of death. So, Theo's about to go look into drugs and toxins, but there was no drugs or toxins from what could be extracted. Wooldridge. Now that's a familiar name. Is it? I didn't think so. Who's this one? Oh, is this? Yes. So, where did the magnifying glass go? Oh no. Oh, it's right here. It's fine. Oh god. The first victim's crime scene. This is the first time I encountered something that could be ossification. Feel sick to my stomach. No one deserves to die like this. For reference, I am writing stuff down in a notebook just so I can keep track of things. Something's odd with her fingers. She's like a bulbous thing there. What's odd with her fingers? Is there something weird? Blacklight? No. I'm looking for clues. Something's odd with her fingers. Let's have a look. Some Faeologists... Okay. Oh, scribe magic. Some Faeologists have applied Darwin's theory of natural selection to faekind by putting them in the same genealogical line as insects, especially the Lepidoptera group, which includes moths and butterflies. Yeah, they do have a very moth and butterfly-esque design, which is gorgeous. This is supported by their similarities to each other. Beneath a special black light, some species of butterflies can glow by having a chemical known as phosphorus, which fairies also have. The similarities of fairy kind to insects as well as birds and others in the animal kingdom manifest in terms of the variance of fairy magical abilities. One magical skill possessed by some fae is transfiguration. which is similar to metamorphosis. Wielders of transfigurative spells can make themselves or fellow fae take on another form, including appearing human. Many high faes have heightened powers of suggestion through the emission of toxins capable of causing hypnosis or illusions. Interesting. Although quite rare, some high faes can transform living beings into solid objects, such as stone or bone. Another example of fae magic is invisibility, which is similar to camouflage. There may be other types of magical powers that have not yet been documented. There are two main factions of high fae, the scribes and the warriors. The scribes are known for their defensive magic and their intelligence. The warriors are known for their power and their offensive magic. Meanwhile, the low fae faction is comprised of faes with limited parasitic magic. Ew. They are a widely maligned species that like to consume human blood, hormones, and even souls. Damn. The history of fae class conflict is not well documented. It appears that there are quarrels between these factions as there is a certain level of disdain for the other faction. However, disputes also occur between fairies of the same faction. Nonetheless, both factions of high fae deem parasites despicable, low fae, due to the limited and parasitic nature of their magic. This is information about the black light. Yes. Okay. All fairy kinds seem to be weak against iron, although a small amount of iron, such as in meat or blood, does not seem to ward off fairies. Historically, cold iron was often forged as weapons and used to repel fairy magic. The intricate use of iron combined with physics and chemistry is applied by Faeologists to develop a special black light to detect and distinguish the magical essence of the three main types of fae. Beneath the black light, scribe magic appears blue, warrior magic red, and parasitic magic purple or violet. Sustained black light illumination on an object imbued with fairy magic may reveal intricate details of certain complex spells. Oh my god, there's so much information. The scribes are high faes who are capable of expressing benevolence and kindness that is similar to humans' kindness, and they tend to be friendlier to humans. However, this kindness is only shown in the form of favor exchanges, and they do not go out of their way to help others like humans would. Scribe magic that assists humans is contingent upon the favor that humans deliver to them. For example, some scribe fae may use their magic to give blessings to humans who have done very special favors or boons for them via inheritable invisible markings such as sigils or birthmarks. These blessings can last through generations. The rumored fae-touched bloodlines have become wealthy and powerful through the decades that they have been favored. However, they may also use their magic as a curse, sometimes even deadly if they feel offended or insulted. Some scribe fairies are also prone to pranks and mischief when they are bored. The high faes of the warrior faction frequently reside in groups and are territorial. They are protective of their troops and tend to be unfriendly towards outsiders, especially if they come from the scribe faction or a human. They will smite anyone who interferes with their group. I will smite you. Humans entering their territory, even if accidentally, may face elimination through the warrior's offensive magic. Elimination is an interesting way to say it. Although fairy warriors typically remain within their own kind and seldom venture beyond the boundaries of the fairy realm, they are known for their aggressive temperament and volatile disposition. Caution is strongly advised when encountering and interacting with these beings. Okay, so scribe fae generally kind and nice and have made a lot of wealthy, families wealthy and prosperous, which may be interconnected. Warrior fae don't like humans or scribe fae that much. Parasitic fairies. Fairies with limited magic consistently need to feed off other sources of energy, mostly drained from humans, such as blood, hormones, emotions, and life force. However, the mechanisms and rates at which these drainage processes occur are greatly varied. Notable incident: changeling. There are unconfirmed rumors that some high faes like to capture humans and bring them into the fairyland for purposes such as forced reproduction, servitude, ritualized combat for their amusement, and so on. The fairies leave changelings behind to mask their absence. A changeling is composed of several fae, typically of the parasitic type, magically transformed to look almost exactly like an abducted human. Due to the complexity of the fae magic required to create a changeling, the enchantment almost always goes awry. Anomalies common among changelings include an extra finger and extra toe. Does she have an extra finger? She does. So she's a changeling. Nearby heat conductors, such as small metallic objects, have also been known to repel or to warp the magic creature changelings. Yeah, I was trying to just use it. Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of her fingers are fingers. She doesn't have a thumb. Interesting. She has an extra finger. Extra chicken fingy. Okay, you're not... Wait, hold on. That was not... Oh, I was on the case file. Okay, hold on. Let me put away this picture before I read that. No, I don't want it to go there. That's so annoying. Okay. Who is this? Please let me read it again. I didn't get to read it. I'm sorry. No. Maybe I need to put it back and then pull it back out again. Okay, please. Please, please, please. Okay, we're just going to have a look at you then, I guess. I guess we're not. Hello? Okay. This seems to be the second victim's crime scene. Her complexion, it's not quite the pale hue of death. Far paler than should be possible. Almost drained of colour, so she probably had her blood drained. Blood drained, maybe? Something's odd with her fingers. Is she also got an extra one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she has 6. She also... Damn. So, hey, these guys aren't real people. Susan Moore. 40. Refusing to drink anything but her own blood? That was her cause of death? Bro, she was a parasitic fucking fae then. She died at around 11 a.m. Oh, she was an affluent person. The victim's mother reported the victim was suffering from a prolonged paranoid episode in the days leading to her death. Specifically, the victim was acting erratically and saying strange things. Despite the manner of death, there are no signs of dehydration or hemochromatosis. No traces of drugs or poisons. Blood type unknown. Other blood-related investigations are underway. No, blood does not contain iron. I wouldn't expect it to if she was a fae, because they don't like iron. Let's have a look. I don't see anything. Okay. Next case file. Whoa. Damn it. This is a bit hard to maneuver. Yeah, the investigation UI is still a bit rough. So they did say that they are currently working on improving it. So for now, it's easier to just not stack items and keep only a few items on the desk at once. So that might be better to just put this back and do one at a time. Edna Niblet. What a name. She is 64 years old. Manner of death, gnawing her own fingers down to the bone. Ew. She died at 10 a.m. She was an affluent middle-aged woman in the city. A friend of the victim reported that she visited the victim's residence to drop off an invitation shortly prior to the victim's death. The friend also wanted to check on the victim's well-being, as she had allegedly been acting strangely at a party the night before. According to the friend, she witnessed an emotionally charged conversation between the victim and a young factory girl. However, the friend didn't think much of the interaction at the time. At the crime scene, the invitation card dropped off by the friend was seen close to the victim's corpse and was taken in as evidence. No traces of drugs or poisons, blood type unknown, other blood-related investigations are underway. That blood does not contain iron! Because they're not people, doctor. This is her? She has 6 fucking fingers. How did no one know this? They have so many fingers. I mean, in this day and age with AI, most people in photos tend to have 6 fucking fingers, to be fair. Hello? Please, I want to see. Show me the information. She also has 6 fingers. I'm just going to write it down. 6 chicken fingies. It's the third victim's crime scene. Her fingers, I've seen corpses before, but never like this. They're also, really mangled and eaten down. There's another strange thing about her fingers. She has 6 of them. Alright, last case. Oh! Mary Hatcher, 19? That's really young compared to all the others. Death from shock due to arsenic poisoning. That's different. She was a young factory girl. Despite not fitting the trend of the previous victim profile, she has been preliminarily included in this case because she was seen having a heated conversation with the third victim shortly before that victim's death. The victim's father described her as not acting like herself in the days before she passed. Shortly before her death, the victim visited the police station. According to the interviewing officer, she seemed to be on the brink of confessing something when a look of terror suddenly crossed her face. She then appeared to change her mind. She hurriedly left the station without saying anything further to the interviewing officer. Prior to death, the victim suffered from violent abdominal cramping followed by diarrhea and vomiting consistent with the effects of arsenic poisoning. Traces of said poisoning can be found in the blood and the glass she was drinking from near the time of death. So she did have regular blood, right? Yeah, blood contains iron and other elements commonly found in human blood. So I think she was just human. Oh, it's right there. This is the 4th victim's crime scene. Poor girl. It's a cruel thing to see youth being stolen so abruptly. And she has the regular amount of fingers. Okay. I'm going to put this tool back and I'm going to pull out this black light. I'm going to go over some stuff. I don't know if it's going to immediately show up. I don't think they'd hide anything in the book. I honestly don't think anything. Yeah. I think that we should just close. We've done the preliminary investigation. Yep. A knock on the door makes me glance up from my desk. I realize the sun has set while I've been absorbed in the investigation. Take a swig from my coffee. Come in. Oh, it's Minnie. My assistant enters the office. Oh. Dr. Rayford has arrived to drop off the blood samples and she wants to talk to you. Already? Yeah, she's just out the door. I must say I'm pleasantly surprised at her work speed. Alright, send her in. Minnie nods. Bye, Minnie. Thank you. She returns to the reception area. Oh, hi. Dr. Florence Rayford enters. It has been only 3 years since she has worked at this university, but she has proven her reliability more often than not. Good evening, Professor. Good evening, Doctor. She can be British and live in New York. It's fine. Dr. Rayford hands over the blood samples. She also gives me her lab report. Here you go. Thank you. So, what have you found? The most peculiar thing is that there is no iron in one of the blood samples. Say, is this fae-related? Her question prompts me to ask myself to what extent of the case can I divulge to her. Thea did say that I may ask the patron or her for information using some of the evidence. Although she has knowledge of fairies and their curses, can she handle seeing crime scene photographs? And does she only have 5 fingers? As I return from my thoughts, I notice her voice has taken on a higher pitch. This is so exciting. Are you working with the police? Does this mean that we'll get better credibility in the eyes of the public? Oh my, we're going to be in newspapers, aren't we? And not on the usual corner spots, too. Oh, I can hardly contain myself. It appears she took my silence as a yes. It's good that she's excited about the possibility of advancement for Faeology, but her cheerful disposition can sometimes be rather overstimulating. As if on cue, a knock on the door arrives to spare me. The specific sound is familiar. More familiar than when my assistant knocks. Oh, it's Oscar. Special delivery. That's Mr. Henkel. What's up, Mr. Henkel? Mr. Henkel's hands are empty. Does he think he's the special delivery? I should not do that voice. I should do like a high, yep. And what prey might you be bringing for me? Is it you? Are you the special delivery, Mr. Henkel?
If you wish to call me special, then I certainly won't stop you. But I did bring a box of huckleberry muffins for your office. Minerva was instantly enamored by their buttery scent. She's currently feasting on them. We can only hope she'll leave a muffin apiece for the rest of us. Oh, hello there, Florence. I didn't expect to see you in this office.
Hello, Mr. Henkel. Fancy seeing you here. Although you do have a habit of making this office your sole stop on campus. She chuckles.
That's just because this is where all my money went. A well-spent investment, nonetheless.
He makes a retort at Dr. Rayford, but throws a subtle smile in my direction. How cheeky.
So, Florence, what's been occupying your time as of late?
She looks at me briefly, possibly wondering whether she should tell him about what she did for me. The usual matters, I suppose.
I tried asking your father about you at the last soiree. However, he confessed he didn't have the faintest idea. You must tell me more about your chemical research one of these days. The colourful pursuits of you young academics thrill me to no end.
You know I can't share all that much, Mr. Henkel. Unless, of course, you find yourself in the position to become the chemistry department's benefactor, then all their secrets are yours. A more playful giggle escapes her lips this time. Is that how you giggle? Playfully?
I'm afraid I'm all tapped out, financially speaking.
Oh, I'm not buying that one, not for a second. He's telling fibs, isn't he, Professor? Well, now, I certainly don't want to get in the middle of the money talk of the rich. I wish I had that information, Doctor. It would make proposing for research much easier, with a bit of delicate leverage, naturally. Mr. Henkel laughs in amusement. I feel I should ask the reason he's here before this conversation takes an odd turn. On another note, Mr. Henkel, did you get my letter? Is that the real reason you dropped by? Upon recalling that I asked Oz to insert the letter into his mailbox only this afternoon, I'm about to retract these questions. Unexpectedly, though, he bows his head in assent.
Your words have always had this immersive impact on me. Perhaps that is why you are such an effective Educator. Educator. Whenever I encounter your written language, I long to hear it spoken post-haste. Are you putting a spell on your letters by any chance?
No, you just seem to like me. I think you're the one with all the spells, Mr. Henkel. Your muffins, for one, have always been successful in getting Minnie's guards down.
Oh dear, you two are making me blush. I suppose this time I take my leave and let you both be. I'm due somewhere shortly. Anyhow.
Oh no, that might not be necessary. I can't stay long either.
Mr. Henkel lapses into silence as he continues staring into my eyes. It's difficult to maintain eye contact with him, but even harder to look away. I wonder what I should do. I ought to discuss the case, but both of them seem to be in a hurry. Should I tell Mr. Henkel to return another day, since I need to have an important conversation with Dr. Rayford right away? Or should I dismiss the chemist and meet with my patron now? There are benefits to either choice. Soliciting Dr. Rayford's opinion on the case may be a good idea. She could share more insight on the chemistry side of the case. Her parents own a successful company that produces the powder makeup and evidence. She would also know the social happenings among the wealthy elites. On the other hand, Mr. Henkel is also a viable candidate for an interview. His connections within high society know no bounds. Everybody seems to know him one way or another. He might know things Dr. Rayford doesn't. Since he has been funding my research for a long time, he's also more familiar with fairy topics. Whom should I interview? I want to interview Dr. Rayford. Dr. Rayford, would you mind staying a little longer? I'd like to hear your opinion about something. Dr. Rayford glances at me and then at Mr. Henkel, and then back at me with a glimmer of mischief in her smile.
Are you sure, Professor?
I let out a resigned sigh. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to deal with her teasing. Yes. When I address my patron once more, regret colours my tone. Mr. Henkel, would you mind coming back another day? I have something crucial to discuss with the doctor at present.
Of course. Of course. I understand your scientific pursuits precede all else. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you for dropping off those muffins. He only replies with a smile.
I'll see you soon, Rat.
Rat? As soon as possible, I promise. Mr. Henkel and Dr. Rayford exchange brief goodbyes. My patron then departs. Yeah, he turned up after getting my letter where I was like, I might show up, I might not. And he's like, hey, I bought you muffins. You have to show up. I don't like that. My patron departs. I'm alone with the chemist again. Doctor, I might need your further assistance regarding the blood samples, and also something more pressing.
So it's true. You're working with the police.
I suppose. Detective Krause consulted me this morning about an ongoing criminal case.
Oh, do I sense some old flame flickering back to life?
Your eyes are tricking you, Doctor. It has been ashes for a long time now, and nothing has changed. There is a hint of disbelief in her eyes, but I won't indulge in her playful teasing as there is a more important matter at hand. I clear my throat. So I'd also like to ask you for information, as you may be acquainted with some of the victims of their friends, or their friends and families.
All right. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, although I do need your sworn secrecy on this.
Of course. I'm adept at keeping secrets.
You need not worry. Those samples I analysed are part of the evidence in this case, right? That's right. Let us begin. I tell her the fundamental facts of the case while she listens silently all the while. When I finish my summation, she has only one word to say to me.
Interesting.
Oh, I have more things now. Blood. There is no sound to be heard as she stares at the photograph for a little while. I wonder if it is too much for her.
Is this Mrs. Waldridge? It's a little difficult to recognise her because of the... Well,
she speaks with her usual sunny lilt, which is quite surprising. I guess she has got a strong stomach. I mean, she's a chemist. Yes, you're correct. What do you know of her?
Everyone knows her and her family, that's pretty sure. They're one of the richest in the city, the elites of the elites. Accordingly, their circle consists only of a very select of people, such as your patron, I imagine. Oh, and their family likes to host charity events.
Did you ever know her to dabble in occult matters?
Unfortunately, what I told you previously is all I know about her. If she did dabble, do you think maybe her manner of death is a result of occult matters?
It's certainly a possibility. Okay. What about this lady?
Oh yes, I know her, although I can't seem to recall her name.
Mrs. Niblet.
That's right. I saw her quite often at the auction, only going for rare coins. As usual, the winning bid was hers. I wonder if some of those coins carried some sort of curse, since they came from God knows where.
Okay.
Mrs. Moore!
She seems to recognise the victim quite fast.
We've met once or twice at a clothing store and exchanged a few pleasantries. Occasionally I would see her and her husband at various dinner parties as well. They were a lovely couple.
She has a husband. H-band. What about the last victim?
Do you happen to know this girl? Unfortunately, no. I don't know her.
It's surprising that she seemed rather unfazed by quite the gruesome photographs. I wonder if she had seen worse deaths caused by chemicals. Although even if I had seen worse, I doubt I could muster such cheer. I've never realised this particular side of her. I want to look at this. This is a family photograph of the Waldridges.
Oh yes, it was everywhere in the papers when her father married the famous and one of the most beautiful socialites. The other man here is Mrs. Waldridge's stepbrother.
Do you know anything about these people?
Aside from being fabulously wealthy and well known, not particularly.
Alright. This is Mrs. Moore and her family. Could you tell me what you know of them?
Well, I've heard that when Mrs. Moore's biological parents passed away, she was adopted by her parents' trusted employees, from whom she received a lot of love. These employees couldn't have children, you see. Her biological parents left her a substantial inheritance, which she received when she came of age. Then she was married, out of love, to a wealthy entrepreneur. They were hand in hand wherever they went. It's a sad thing. Her luck seemed to slip away just when she needed it most.
Dr. Rayford seems to know more about Mrs. Moore than she let on earlier. While she sounds quite sympathetic, I can somehow sense a hint of jealousy in her voice. Alright, what can you tell me of the blood vial?
I found traces of arsenic in this blood sample.
Yes, that was reported by the forensic teams too. One wonders who could have done such a thing to the poor girl.
Actually, chemists do sell arsenic to common people to make their own weed killer and rat poison. I haven't done that in some time, not since the university contract. But I'm sure the detective has asked his henchman to collect purchase records from chemists all over the city, don't you think?
Most likely, you would hope so. What about this?
Ah, yes, the most intriguing piece of evidence. It's weird, isn't it, that it doesn't contain iron at all, even though it looks just like human blood. Not to mention the high percentage of phosphorus. Which let me know if it ended up being a fairy, after all.
Only if I'm allowed. Is there any insight from chemistry as to why there would be no iron in a red-coloured blood?
Sadly, no. I'm just as puzzled myself.
Right, what about this?
I've done my best to put all the details there, although I might have missed something regarding the curious blood sample.
Okay. What is this?
I've never seen this kind of coin before. Is it rare?
Okay.
Ah, my parents' greatest achievement.
It's one of the things I wanted to ask you, Doctor. I don't know much about makeup. How popular is this powder among high society?
The powder's been the craze lately among the upper class, since my parents have successfully gotten Mary Pickford to do its advertisement.
Well, I'll be. So it's very popular.
My, proposing to me, Professor. I'm afraid my heart still belongs to my late husband.
I can hear sorrow seeping through her peppy voice. Quietly, I slip the ring back into the box.
Whoops. This is tomorrow's gala. I'll not be going there since the opera's playing.
I didn't know you were into opera, Doctor.
My late husband and I used to go there for one of our date nights.
Sadness leaks through her eyes even though her smile stays bright. I hadn't the faintest idea she'd been married before.
Speaking of which, I spotted Detective Krauss at the Met last month. During last month's performance, he appeared to be enjoying the opera, accompanied by an attractive tall blonde woman. It was quite the unexpected sight. I never took him for an admirer of opera.
Well, that's a new one on me. I think I'm done now. I've shown you literally everything I have. End the interview. I have no further questions. I believe I have enough information for now.
Is that so? Well, all right.
Earlier you mentioned you had a prior arrangement, so I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your time. You've been incredibly helpful.
It's no problem. Don't hesitate to reach out if you require anything else.
I give her a brief nod. Dr. Rayford then departs from my office. I'm alone again, but not for long. My assistant pops into the office. Professor, I'm heading home soon. Is there anything else I can do to help? No, I'll be perfectly fine. I think I'll stay and work for a bit longer. Okay. See you tomorrow, Professor. Have a safe trip home. Upon wishing me the same, Minnie leaves. Bye, Minnie. I love your outfit. I have some time until I have to wrap up my workday and head home from the office. Okay, so we've got a new photo. So this middle-aged woman in the collared blouse and the elder man in the suit are father and daughter related by blood, and the other two are the stepmother and stepbrother. Okay. Let's see. Anything weird on the photo? Oh, I saw something on the hands. What? Oh! Blue! Blue! What does blue mean again? Blue means scribe. Right? Yeah, scribe. So that's the elite family. They're scribes. Or at least have something to do with scribes. Got it. Okay. What about this family? The man in the darker suit seems to be the husband of the victim, the woman with the pearls. He's supposedly close to his in-laws. This means the other two are the victim's adoptive parents. Wait, what's that on her hand? Scribe! Scribe! Who was that? Was that Moore? Yeah. And they both had extra fingers. Okay. And then we've got this report, so we can read this. There's nothing on this, right? Yeah, no. Okay. This is Dr. Rayford's lab report on the blood samples. The content is quite similar to the forensic report. While elements similarly found in human blood, such as phosphorus, carbohydrates, and some proteins are found in the third victim's blood, it doesn't contain iron. That's niblet. Moreover, the amount of phosphorus found is in a higher percentage than that in human blood, making it possible for this to be the blood of a fairy. The fourth victim's blood appears to be normal human blood with iron present. Traces of arsenic are also found. Although there is some new information, I had expected the report to be more detailed. Then again, I did ask her to finish it as soon as possible, and she delivered. Okay. We request the honour of your presence at the annual Leos Gala. What Dr. Rayford said about Theo comes to mind. I wonder if he has moved on after all. Okay. Formal attire. Nothing. Okay, what is this? I can't even begin to imagine how her husband must feel losing his soulmate this way. Oh, this is Moore's ring. Oh, red? Warrior. Warrior. Ring glows red. Ring glows red. Warrior? Question mark? Oh, uh-oh. That's not good. Okay. Can we look at the blood under the blue light? What would that do? I mean, yeah, this blood glows. This one doesn't. This glows purple and red. What was purple and red? Parasitic magic purple or violet. Uh-oh. So was Edna Niblet parasite, possibly? Possibly. Okay. What is this? Beautiful box. No surprise this powder has been all the rage with the upper set. They managed to get Mary Pickford for the advertisements. That must have been where I knew it from. Okay, nothing weird about the powder. And we've got a coin. One of the coins they said that Miss Niblet likes to collect. Yeah, rare coins. Hello? Never seen a coin like this. It looks rare. Okay. Oh. Whoa! What's happening? What is happening? What? Ah! I've seen this before. This is a parasitic fae. Yeah. A failed transformation magic? What, this was a coin? Oh. There's no mistaking it. The structure of the thorax, antennae, curvature, elongated legs, they're exactly the same as the parasitic fae I catalogued several months ago. What happened to you, poor fae? Of course, no response is forthcoming. Okay. What the fuck do I do now with that? Can I use the powder and stuff? Can I use the powder on this? I don't know. He's got a red wing. So it means that he's purple, right? But he's got red magic, which means he was attacked by a warrior fae. Possibly. I don't know what else to do. I have to look at the case files again. No. I've got way too many things out. I need to put stuff away. They're... Okay. Am I missing something? Where's that picture of... That's her ring. What is in her mouth? That's just... It seems the coin in the evidence is hers. Yes, we knew that. So that goes with you. Here's your coin, lady. We know the ring is hers. Mrs. Moore and her husband seem like delightful individuals. I wonder if other people from her clique are involved in occultism. And this is just some poor human girl who got caught up in the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, thank you. I was like, I think I've gotten all the information. I need to end the investigation.
Oh, it's the next afternoon. I should be grading assignments or reviewing the lecture I'm going to deliver come Monday, or do anything productive in the realm of professorial duties. Instead, I find my attention straying more and more toward the office door. I voice my frustrations to good old Oz. They'll probably arrive at any moment. I can't stop wondering whether my explanation will be enough for him. In the past, no sort of explanation ever seemed to please him when it came to fairies, and why should it do so now? My voice cracks with concern. This time he came to you bearing in mind the possibility of fairy involvement. He'd be a fool if he discredits you so soon. My fairy companion's chirping becomes increasingly stern this time. But you need to get yourself together. You must remain steadfast and strong when facing the detective. Don't permit your voice to falter when presenting your findings. I know, I can't let myself unravel at this point. It's just that he's never solicited my opinion quite in this manner. Professional insight, no less. All the more reason to be as calm as you can be. Maintaining your composure is essential to delivering a persuasive argument. But no matter what happens, at least you know you tried. At the end of the day, he's the one who needs to solve this case. You're right, of course you are. Of course you are. I'm not a detective. I'm simply a professor sharing my perspective. Thank you, Oz, for always talking me off the ledge. Just then, somebody knocks on the door. Bye, Oz! That's my cue to sail past your window ledge. Best of luck! I whisper a high goodbye to my fairy friend. I'll see you tonight, Oz. I'll see you tonight, Oz, at the ball. Once Oz is flown out, I direct my attention toward the door. Come in. My assistant marches in. Professor, you have a visitor. The detective? Minnie nods. All right, send him in. Minnie nods once again and walks out of the room. Bye, Minnie. Still love your vibe. Theo paces around a little bit after strolling in. He appears quite distracted. He finally stops and opens his mouth. So, what have you learned? I take a deep breath. Here it goes. Whoa, the music just kicked in so loud. I have to present my findings to perhaps the most sought-after detective in the police force. Detective! Theo investigates cases right where the crime scenes unfolds. He's agonizingly familiar with the grit and the grime of the city's darkest recesses. Meanwhile, as a professor, my expertise primarily revolves around the nebulous, the theoretical. I must do my best to stay calm and collected, just as Oz suggested. I've read the case files. Victims' odd behavior shortly before death could be due to hypnotic spells from fairies. The fourth victim went to the police station, but before she said anything, it seemed she saw something that scared her away. What if she saw something not human? And the manner of death. He interrupts me before I can finish. I've no time for assumptions. The papers telephoned our department this morning, said they found out about some of these deaths. So that's why he looks agitated. It's not just my stunning veneer. The chief is preparing a statement for tomorrow regarding this. So, I'll just cut to the chase. Is there fairy involvement? Fucking yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yes, I'm certain of it. I can tell his interest is piqued. However, I'd like to first lay out the basics since I'm pretty sure you've discarded the things I've told you in the past. He grumbles as if in admission of my statement. So far, we've identified 3 classes of fairies: warrior, scribe, and parasitic fae. Warriors have strong offensive magic, scribes' magic tends to be defensive, and parasitic magic as well. Parasitic. We Faeologists have developed a tool called Blacklight to detect traces of fae magic. It can even be detected through photographs if the magic is especially strong. Warrior magic glows red, scribe magic blue, and the parasitic magic shines purple. I found that seemingly fairies of one specific class are behind this. Which one's the culprit? It's the warrior one, right? Because there was red on like everything. So her ring... I actually didn't look at the fucking photo of the ossificated lady, Audrey Waldridge, but I can just assume because on Susan Moore's finger her ring was glowing red. And even on Edna Niblet, who was a parasitic fae, she had red on the coin, like the fae's wing was ripped off. So I think it's warrior. They're of the warrior class. What is the evidence? Oh. The
dead fae? Oh. I guess. How does this prove warrior involvement? I put the dead fae beneath the black light. This is dead parasitic fae. Look, it glows purple and red under the black light. I take their bodies still glow even after they're dead. Correct. It takes a little while until their magic is fully dissipated from the corpse. Oh, I forgot to be doing his voice. I got so interested.
It honestly just looks like a normal bug to me.
Hold on 1 second. I turn the shelves and pick up one of the boxes containing a deceased insect from my ongoing research. I open the lid and show it to Theo. I found this one dying just yesterday. It died shortly after. Swiftly, I put it beneath the black light. A normal one doesn't glow, you see. Theo's expression is a blend of amusement and bewilderment.
Quite interesting. And how does it end up here?
I failed transformation magic, yeah? It's a parasitic fae that got warped by a coin due to transformation magic going awry. The coin in the evidence turned into this when I put it under the black light long enough, essentially revealing what it really was. So the third victim, Mrs. Niblet.
What about her?
Mr. Henkel said she has her numerous coin collections displayed in all the rooms in her house. That particular coin must have been nearby when she met her fate. I can see a feeling of unease reflected in Theo's expression as he stares at me.
I need a moment to digest all this.
I nod and take a moment to arrange the box neatly before placing it back on the shelves.
What else you got?
The blood sample, right?
How does this prove warrior involvement?
I slot the blood sample beneath the black light to show the magic traces. You see there's a glow of purple and red under the black light?
How do the purple traces, or parasitic magic as you say, have a part in this?
It's fucking fairy blood. That is because this blood is fairies, and their blood contains traces of their own magic. This is further supported by the blood sample analysis. Fairies' blood has high content of phosphorus, just like reported. Adding to that the missing iron, fairies have an aversion toward iron. They don't have it in their blood. They can still, however, withstand the iron in human blood. That's why some parasitic fae like to drink our blood. As I ramble on, Theo listens intently with a slightly surprised look on his face every time I start a new sentence.
To be honest, I'm out of words at the moment. What else you got?
The ring?
How does this prove warrior involvement?
I place the ring beneath the black light. You see Mrs. Moore's ring glows purple and red under black light.
But why does it glow purple as well?
I guess it's part of transformation magic? That is because the ring is part of transformation magic. When the parasitic fae is transformed into a changeling or human look-alike, high fae magic is able to copy everything, including Mrs. Moore's wedding ring. There's sudden silence in the air as Theo's eyes widen in consternation.
What the hell are we dealing with here?
He mutters in a voice that is filled with dismay.
There appears to be strong evidence pointing towards warrior involvement. Based on what you've shown me, parasitic fairies are one way or another connected to the manner of killing. But you also haven't told me how the warrior fairies kill the victims. Give it to me straight. How do you figure the murders were carried out?
I think they basically replaced victims with changelings, right? Because they all had 6 fingers, except the human lady. And then they killed the changelings with ossification and hallucination spells. Because the first lady died by ossification, the second lady died by drinking her own blood, and Edna Niblet was trying to eat her fingers. The warrior high fae use their transformation magic to turn parasitic fae into human lookalikes of the victims, which are often called changelings.
Changelings?
I take out the crime scene photographs of middle-aged victims and lay them out on the table. Using the magnifying glass, I show the oddity in the victim's hands to Theo. This is one of the possible anomalies that is likely to happen due to the complexity of transformation magic used in creating changelings. As famous as these ladies' families are, it would have been a big thing on the papers if they had 6 fingers from when they were children. I don't seem to remember anything like that in the newspapers, do you?
No, me neither.
Theo looks away as though trying to remember all the newspapers he has read. It also explains the missing iron in the blood sample, since the corpses are not human. I wait until Theo meets my gaze again before continuing. They then murder the changelings using ossification and hallucination magic. It is done to cover up what they really did to the real humans.
What they really did? Like what?
It can be anything. The real humans might be kidnapped to the fairyland, destined to wed certain fairies and bring forth offspring, or be employed as a slave, or tortured for amusement until they die. I shiver at the thought of it happening to the poor ladies. Theo appears to be unsettled by the same thoughts as well.
Hold on, are you saying that they might still be alive?
There's a chance. Yet the realm of the fairies is still an enigma, even for those who study their kind. The Faeologists in this university have barely met any living fairies. You're aware of how fresh this field is within academia, aren't you? Theo nods. It pains me to admit that I genuinely do not know how to get them back. I will keep trying, nonetheless. We both fall silent as though a heavy weight has settled in our throats, refusing to budge.
We can also look at this case from another angle. The motives. Based on your investigation, what could be the rationale behind the warrior fairy's actions?
It's difficult to pinpoint the reason why fairies do what they do, since they don't allow human rules of morality. However, I found that warriors murder parasitic fairies because they're despicable. Well, no, because only one was a parasitic fairy. I mean, most of the victims were blessed by the scribes, right? They had scribe magic. So this one? I actually didn't notice the sigil on Edna Niblet's hand, but I didn't look at her photo, I don't think. She didn't have a family photo. The 3 middle-aged are blessed by scribe fays, shown by the sigils on one of their hands. I say as I hover the black light on top of the family photographs one by one. I mentioned before that especially strong magic can be seen even through photographs.
Yes, I remember.
He answers while taking the black light out of my hand and checking the sigils himself. 2 sigils light up on Mrs. Wooldridge's family photograph and one on Mrs. Moore's. The sigil is a sign of being blessed by one of the scribe fae, usually given when someone has done a very special boon for a scribe. It gives good fortune and is passed down through generations. As you know, the middle-aged victims and their families are old rich families that have stayed on top for many decades. That's how strong the magic is. Mrs. Moore was adopted, that's why it's only her who has it. Her late biological parents hailed from a distinguished and affluent lineage. Theo points at the faces in Mrs. Wooldridge's photographs.
And he's a biological father while the other 2 are step-family.
I nod at him. I'm positively sure that, should we check into Mrs. Niblet's family photograph, she and her children would display the same sigils. Yeah, see, we didn't have a photograph of hers.
I'll see what I can do.
Oh, and it's also meant as a warning for others not to harm the marked human.
I guess that warning didn't work in this case, did it?
No, it didn't.
Well, I suppose this does make sense. And it's a pattern.
Yes. This might be targeted murders. He then casts a glance my way with an air of satisfaction around him and breaks into a smile.
Good job.
Mike, considering how rarely he gives commendations, that sounds like a compliment. The compliment of a lifetime. I can feel my confidence is going through the roof. Woo! Thank you.
Lastly, what have you found on the poor girl, Mary Hatcher? Any connections to fairies?
The chemist report is similar to the case files. The blood is normal human blood, traces of arsenic. I didn't find any signs of fairy magic from the evidence. She mentioned that you might already be collecting purchase records from chemists all over the city?
That's right. We're still investigating whether someone is linked to the girl.
I see. The chemist's parents own a cosmetic company that produces the makeup powder in the evidence. She said it's popular among the upper-class ladies lately since they've gotten Mary Pickford to do the advertisements. He picks out a small notebook and a pen from his trench coat and starts writing.
I'm not sure if it's useful. Every scrap of information counts. I ought to note down the things we talked about today as well. Your findings really threw me for a loop. I forgot to take notes.
Of course, take your time. While Theo is writing, I tidy up my desk and put the evidence back in the box.
Anything else you got?
That's all I have for now. He puts his notebook and pen back in his coat. He heaves a sigh so heavy I can believe he has the weight of the city on his shoulders. Even so, when he looks at me, there's a glint of something that wasn't there before. This fleck of illumination is all the more stark since we started this discussion. It's hope, perhaps. A tiny, delicate thing is blooming in this room to counteract the overwhelming darkness and despair outside.
I always knew you were clever.
Thanks.
But I have to say, you've outdone yourself this time. I'm impressed.
From start to finish, you were able to line the evidence perfectly with your theories. Was I?
Everything makes perfect sense.
I can't believe he's saying all this. Damn, he's complimenting me. Feeling like $1,000,000. Thank you, Theo. It means so much coming from you.
Haven't I always told you you'd make a good detective?
Detective! Yes, he has. Feels nostalgic all of a sudden. Feels like such a long time ago. That got a smirk out of him.
Well, we still got our work cut out for us. But at least for now, innocent people won't get thrown in jail, thanks to you. I just need to convince the chief and the papers. Though with your findings, it sure would make it a lot easier.
If anyone can pull it off, it's you. You're the best goddamn dick in this county. Even with that ragamuffin look, there's something about you that makes people listen to you and trust you.
Well, now you did fall for this ragamuffin.
And how do you know it wasn't your constant brush with danger that drew me in?
Oh, I know.
I'm short of a comeback for once. He knows just how to catch me off guard. All of a sudden, that playful glint in his eyes disappear, replaced by a serious stare.
Listen, I might have to bring up your name in my report.
I can't predict how the papers will handle this, but it's possible they'll mention you in Faeology. This is good for your field, of course, but it could draw unwanted, dangerous attention your way. I'll be fine, Theo. I can protect myself. This is what the field needs.
Indeed, you're more than capable of taking care of yourself. I know that very well.
I do appreciate you worrying over me. Theo's concern seems to fade, and he lets out a sigh of relief.
Well, this day's certainly been a ride.
He glances at his wristwatch. I hate that word. Wristwatch. Fuck.
I've still got time until I have to get back to the station. Fancy a drink with me? You can tell me more about fairies. I'll listen with way less judgment this time. Just like I promised.
Sure. Oh! Well then, would you mind waiting until I finish grading a few assignments? It'll take 10 minutes at most.
Go ahead. I'll just write more notes in my book.
I focus my attention on the assignments. There's a minute of companionable silence. The scribbling of my pen is the only noise audible. Theo then speaks.
You know what we should toast to when we drink?
What?
We should toast to being a good team.
We're a team, are we?
Aren't we? Or at least we should be. Your knowledge of the fairies is exactly what we need to make sense of all this mess. And it's not just that. Your talent for investigation is as impressive as they come. If you act as a consultant in a high-profile case like this, you'd be handsomely compensated, of course. Imagine what those funds could do for your faeological research. Ah! So what do you think? Would you ever consider joining the investigation in an official capacity?
I'll consider it. I will consider it, Theodore. Ooh! Am I wearing a glove? Damn, fancy. I am one fancy bish. Ending 1, we got Detective Duo! Woo! Hell yeah. I am a detective. Oh, it's another afternoon in the office. My patron has stopped by to discuss a research project that I've been considering. Now that Faeology might get increased credibility, especially with the police, I think we should examine the prevalence of strange deaths caused by fairies, don't you think, Mr. Henkel? The police might agree to help us collect the data.
I'm not so sure about that. It would take time for the police to trust us to that extent. Besides, wouldn't it be more pressing to focus your research on warrior phase? On warrior?
Hello, princess.
Ho! We have to talk.
Before I can respond, 2 individuals suddenly barge into my office. Sorry, I tried to stop him, but I couldn't. Even though I've told him you're in a meeting right now. That's okay, Minnie. You can let me handle this. If you say so, Professor. Minnie grumbles at Theo as she walks out.
Fuck you, Theo, fuck you.
What's eating you, Theo? Theo doesn't so much glance at Mr. Henkel. He unfolds a rolled up newspaper from the inner pocket of his coat. He hands it to me. Oh no. At a glance, I can see the phrases "fairies are real, evil is afoot," and "fairies killing humans" spelled out in bold, oversized letters. As I begin reading, my patron peers over my shoulder to read as well. It is not the chief statement that made the front page. It's another bizarre murder, and this time the victim is a beloved celebrity. She danced until her body gave out. They wrote out all the excessively grisly details connected to her death. Moreover, the reports surrounding the other homicides have been thoroughly sensationalized and exaggerated. They've depicted fairies as evil enemies of mankind, and in some parts they even insinuate that war between beings is brewing. Reading all of this makes my heart sink and my stomach churn. I need to put the paper down for a moment. This is truly awful.
Already checked the crime scene. The details of this latest incident look similar to what we've uncovered from the previous murders. Given everything, I'd say fairy's definitely in the picture here. Though it's still hard to make heads or tails of all this.
It's very difficult to grasp their motives, but judging by the methods and frequency, I have to say this is significant. Something big might be going on in the land of the fairies. As the conversation unfolds, Mr. Henkel appears to be deeply in thought.
I need you to check something really quick.
Theo gives me a photograph of the celebrity. Knowing exactly what he wants, I retrieve the black light from my drawer and examine the photograph closely. Both Theo and Mr. Henkel peek over my shoulder to see a sigil, the same one as the other 3 victims had.
I suppose we can now establish that these are targeted murders.
I nod at him. For some reason, Mr. Henkel is nodding with me. Although the 4th victim, Mary Hatcher, doesn't have the sigil, does she? Did you find anything more about it? Theo shakes his head, leaving behind a troubled look.
Nobody in the purchase records has a strong link to the girl. We're asking around here and there. The girl is a saint. Everybody loved her. Her squabble with Mrs. Niblet is the strongest lead we have.
A striking realization dawns upon me. What if a fairy transformed into a human and purchased the poison?
What? They can do that?
Suddenly, Mr. Henkel's familiar voice fills the room after his long stretch of silence.
Oh yes, detective. Although when a fairy shifts into human shape, they cannot assume the identity of someone already living. Your culprit may well be a name on the list, but one that doesn't truly exist.
I give a nod in agreement with his words, feeling slightly proud that my patron is reading all the knowledge this university has to offer. Theo flinches at Mr. Henkel's input, clearly having dismissed him as part of the furniture. He then scoffs. Theo! All I get from Theo is a shrug. Surprisingly, he turns toward the patron.
From what I've come to understand, fairy magic is more than capable of doing the killing. They've no need for poison. But I won't discard the possibility.
Mr. Henkel only replies with a smile. Well, that's certainly a rare occurrence. Theo goes back to ignoring Mr. Henkel and talks directly to me.
I should mention that I've gotten permission for you to check the crime scene. Come with me tomorrow?
I'll see what I can do.
Alright, I gotta go. I'm leaving the newspaper here. There are more articles about Faeology that you should read.
Without so much as a word of goodbye to Mr. Henkel, Theo turns and leaves. I pick up the paper again and continue reading while Mr. Henkel silently reads alongside me. The field of Faeology is indeed mentioned quite markedly, but its loyalty to humankind is under scrutiny. Although the police chief spoke of our help, the papers continue to raise doubts about our involvement in these killings. Is the Faeology University a friend or a foe? Well, we finished the prologue! Wow, okay. Alright, awesome. Lead director artist, Mushroomallow! Narrative design, script rewrite, Lily! Lead programmer, Emelisa. Programmer, Furman. Former team members. Original script writer, Elias. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Initial outline and concept, BL McDara. Research assistant, additional writer, Lulucat, and item art. Apple cider donut. What a name. That's so cool. This is all the music. The Ravens Lullaby. The music, honestly, is really good in this. I like that a lot. The sound effects, the logo font, special thanks, and thank you for playing to us. Thank you for making the game. This was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I like the concept. The art interpretation of how the Fae look is really fascinating. I love like the moth insectoid design of the creatures. I like the changeling aspect of fairies. It's horrifying. I really enjoyed that too. And I like the mystery. I really want to know what happens now. So, like I said, this game was developed and published by Mushroomallow, and it has a TBA release date. This was really fun. I implore you to go and download the demo and give it a try for yourself. There are multiple endings that you can get in the prologue. I think there's 6 or 7 endings that you can get so far, and this is just the prologue. So, like I said, though, they did say that there are still things to be worked on. This is obviously a demo / prologue. Like the investigation UI, they're still working on improving it, so it's best to not like stack items and things. And eventually, I used a notebook to help keep information that I needed to remember, but they're working on implementing a log system, so that's not required in future. But if you like this game, go and check it out on Steam. Give it a wish list if you want. Download the demo, give it a play. It's a quick, short little demo. It's not too long. I enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see what else this developer does with this game. I cannot wait to play when it's fully released, or even if they do an updated demo. And like I said at the start, this game was played as part of the Choose Wisely Festival that is running on Steam right now from the 8th to the 15th. Go and check out some more of the awesome games on show, or just search # Choose Wisely Festival to watch participating content on YouTube, Twitch, all platforms pretty much, wherever content can be consumed. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you get to play many, many games, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!